Hello, it's December 2024, and this video is inspired by a post someone had shared with regards to a doctor, which there's also video interviews of him speaking about this. And this really ties into things that I've been saying even prior to 2020, but specifically since 2020, how there's different flavors of Kool-Aid. And for example, I've highlighted how truther and freedom types were too smart to see through what was being imposed from 2020 and onward, but they weren't smart enough to not take the bait on specifically these two other so-called remedies and really promoting it. And it's interesting, even this doctor had said how these alternative so-called medications had come out about the same time. And I've stated very clearly how those imposing anticipate people, for example, resisting, going against mainstream, and really that's the focus of these types of people. Is anything mainstream, they're going to oppose it regardless if it's good or bad, real or perceived. Now this doctor he was one of the lead top scientists for one of the biggest manufacturers of what was being imposed since 2020 and onward. He left that and became an advocate against these things. And then he started to look into specifically these two alternatives that truthers and freedom types swear by. Now this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, no pun intended, for truther and freedom types, because they really drank the Kool-Aid on these two, specifically this one alternative remedy, so-called remedy, because no one likes to be duped, and you tell a lie long enough it becomes the truth. And that leads into injustice and everything else that I've been really focusing my efforts on. But it's really interesting how now we're starting to see not just him, but there's other doctors and scientists who are coming out talking about these alternative so-called remedies. And this is something I've been saying, again, since 2020 and onward. So it's almost kind of like, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. And again, I realize there's going to be a lot of resistance, and people are going to do mental gymnastics and use logical fallacies to try to justify everything and dismiss people coming forward. But it's really interesting when you read the comment section, for example, of this one particular video of this doctor, how people are challenging it, saying, well, I want to see this person debate these other ones that are promoting it. You have to keep in mind, this applies to any profession, they might get a fax or a memo about some new discovery or something. They read it, say, okay, well, this is the latest trend, and they simply go along with it without actually looking into it. And they accept it as fact because, hey, it comes from who they perceive as an authority. So even the ones that are promoting, and I'm not stating these two alternative so-called remedies to avoid any issues, so I'm word crafting here, but everyone's familiar with, for example, the one that starts off with and then there's the hydro one. But specifically, this doctor is talking about the Iver one. And how many people swear by it? Well, here's the thing. Regardless of what the medical condition is, whether it be physical or even psychological, and whatever the alleged treatment is, people assume that because they do it and they have some positive results after that, it was what they did that caused the positive effect, for example. Again, this is physical, psychological, and any type of so-called remedy. But you can't prove it either way. Sometimes people just heal. Sometimes things are not what they're told. Mistakes are made. For example, in diagnoses, I'm talking about real diagnoses with real doctors with the physical stuff, not even addressing the liberal arts, theoretical pseudoscience of psychology nonsense, but anyway. So there are many factors why someone, for example, their health might turn around. And dare I even say that there could be something divine behind it all. But I know a lot of people are going to like, oh yeah, okay, that's just some crazy talk, whatever. So I just wanted to highlight again how it's not just me saying these things with regards to different flavors of Kool-Aid, specifically on this Iver thing, but now we see people who have an extensive knowledge base on these things coming out and saying the same thing and giving warnings. Just things to think about, take it or leave it. That's on you. I couldn't care less. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, oh, when is it going to get easier? When you die.